Hello everybody and welcome to today's video on knives. Yes, we all know the basic Swiss Army knife. It has lots of options, is relatively safe, obviously not something you can travel with, but does fill the role of what mostly you'll need on a job site, especially if possibly you are a manager and you'll need the toothpick the most out of anything. Um, Overall, it has, a lot of accessories, a lot of basic things. It would probably be something, as most homeowners, you'll have around the house. Perfect for small whittling jobs or if you need to open a beer. Not so great when you start to talk about going to a construction site, where you can run into any types of different knives. I've got a Olfa from a few years ago that I bought. The nice thing about these is that they have breakaway blades. They can also be found with a hook blade that also has a breakaway for the larger blades as well too. I believe that this is a 18 millimeter, and I believe the 24 whatever it is again that I have has the breakaways for the hooks, and was really useful for cutting a lot of poly recently. These blades are usually, I believe, called box cutters or whatever else by a lot of people that I know. It's not necessarily a blade that I use a lot for, but for the most part, I like to stick to my utility blades, which this would be my go-to for a lot of different jobs. Obviously, this one's a little bit worn from years of use, but I like the accessibility of being able to swap out a blade and retain a lot of extra blades on myself throughout the day. Now, this is obviously a newer model compared to some of the older ones that I do have, but this is a good feature of what I like from blades overall. They're sturdy, they're a little bit hardier than these, which are designed to break. So as soon as you extend it too far and you try to cut something that's a little too hard, such as drywall, these tend to hold up a lot better. The blades do seem to blunt a little bit quicker, and it is easier to get a lot of gunk inside of the actual mechanism for the feeding of the blade when you retract it, bring it out. As well, obviously, these can wear down over time and they do not actually hold that well, and you can find that it'll slip when you're cutting into something harder surface, such as plywood or drywall. Not necessarily that you're cutting plywood with it, but you can cut drywall all the way through. You can score surfaces on wood, also excellent for cutting out for door jambs. When it comes to specialty blades, obviously this one with an actual knife hooked into it, not necessarily your general blade, but maybe good for a whittler. Somebody who actually has a larger hand would definitely appreciate a blade like this. And then also having the ability to pull out a utility blade, maybe get into fine tuner areas, always nice. Not necessarily that Stanley's the only brand, but it is seeming to be the main brand that seems to sell different types of utility blades that I end up buying. So this is one of my older blades. Obviously I've got a hook blade on it. This one just screws together after being clipped back together. Was one of the first utility blades that I bought, and does a great job, especially when it's screwed back together. So I hope this has been overall informative. You'll find all sorts of other utility blades or box cutters or whatever you like to call these ones from Olfa. Excellent blades, love them too. There's all sorts of different kinds of blades out there, especially when you get into specialty jobs. For the most part, a knife is a necessity when it comes down to all sorts of repairs or even cleaning out for surfaces. I've used these or just taken off the blade for cleaning out caulking in bathrooms. You can use them with holding a piece of pliers or whatever else to get in for retrofitting for surfaces. It's a general type of finish that a knife can only do in most aspects. Yes, you can use heavy duty cleaners, but getting in physically and cleaning out something in the hard surface really diminishes the amount of work that you need to do in the long term for something, and especially if you have to wait for something to dry afterwards. Highly recommend it, even if homeowners want to use this type of stuff for general cleanings or just to get gunk off of surfaces such as mold that might be growing on top of grouts. You can easily clean off the harder surfaces or calcium buildups over top of areas such as that, and you can break through the general for it and then hit it with something like CLR if you need to break up something like that for a bathroom. Can do a lot of wonders. They are the main thing that I like to use. I hope you have a great day, and I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions about knife blades or anything along that lines, please let me know. Or if you have any insight on other types of knives, always just reach out.